Our friend Terry dropped quite the bomb on us recently, didn't he? And we were shocked. While we're grateful that he's well now, we've got to admit we have a lot of questions at the moment. Which cancer did he have? How'd he get diagnosed? And most importantly, what was the late announcement? Is he alright? See, we've got quite a few questions, so let's try and get a few answers today. Let's begin. First off, Terry Bradshaw finally talks about his bout with cancer. We are not doing any guesswork here, folks. Terry Bradshaw opened up about everything he went through, and we're here to break it all down for you guys. The former quarterback shared back in October that he had his first cancer diagnosis in November 2021, so basically an entire year ago. That means he waited for over a year to publicly discuss his health issues. Perhaps Terry waited that long so he could only let us all in on the good news. Yup, the former pro talked about his battle with cancer. He also informed the audience that as of right now, he was cancer-free, a warrior through and through. Next, the question remains, why wait a year to talk about it? The Pro Football Hall of Famer gave Today an interview, which was broadcasted in early November, when he revealed why he hadn't spoken about it for a whole year. But despite the dismal news that he shared, Terry assured everyone and the audience that he felt like his old self throughout the interview. And when you ask why he chose not to make the whole thing public, he said that he didn't want any sympathy. So when celebrities or public figures like him announce health concerns like these, millions of people in America erupt. They pour in with comments like, "Aw, look at him," or "God bless his soul." And others would start lining up with personal stories of how their husband or their mom had the same thing, and he didn't want that. Up next, so what made him come forward now? It could have been that we would never find out about Terry Bradshaw's cancer, but a series of events led to him deciding that he wants the world to know. Let's find out what went down. Well, on Sunday's NFL pregame show, Bradshaw noticed that many people were asking what was wrong with him and what happened to him physically, and why were these questions or whispers making rounds? Apparently, last week, fans observed the analyst Terry Bradshaw appearing to be out of breath when discussing plays from a few games during a Fox NFL Sunday program in September. That's not all. Seemingly, Terry ran out of breath, and Howie Long helped him up. Now that was the scene, and what were the consequences of these moments of weakness? Everyone noticed what was wrong with him, and then there were the harsher ones. So-called fans started saying things like, "Get rid of him" on social media, or that he should be taken off the air because he makes all of them ashamed. And that led to him thinking, embarrassment? I just have cancer. Yeah, we'll let that sink in for a bit. That's just sad. We really treat our legends this way. Anyway, this led to him wanting to address the whole situation and inform everyone about the recent events in his life. Now, there's something else too. Around November last year, he had surgery and received treatment at the Yale University Medical Center. And the good news is that today, Terry Bradshaw is bladder cancer free. But it didn't end there either, because then in March, although he felt great, the former football great felt that his neck was hurting. So naturally, he went in for a checkup and got his MRI done. And as it turns out, the left side of his neck had a tumor. The doctor's staff discovered a tumor. Yup, he was diagnosed with another form of cancer. Man, can't seem to catch a break now, can he? Well, it turned out to be a Merkel cell tumor, which is an uncommon variety of skin cancer. For that, he underwent surgery at MD Anderson in Boston. Coming up, we weren't the only ones left in the dark. The storied Steelers quarterback announced that it took him a long time before he finally told his family too. But after hearing complaints from followers, he decided to go public with his experience. More on that, the four-time Super Bowl champion claimed that he was never worried about his well-being, despite his health issues. But then he joked that the twist of fate reminded him that cancer doesn't care. The disease has no preference when it chooses its victims, and that's exactly what happened. Bradshaw claimed that after learning of his illness, his Christian faith had helped him keep the mindset of, well, if I go, I'm okay, and I'm okay even if I stay. Those words seem easier said than understood. Kudos, Terry, for your undying courage and the fight that you put up. The man beat cancer twice. The former athlete claimed his wife Tammy has been essential to his recovery, despite his initial reluctance to notify his family. Bradshaw shared that he has no words to express his gratitude towards her. He can't imagine not holding her hand when they board a plane, touch down, or when they cuddle in bed together. The former player said that he's getting emotional just thinking of how much they've been through together. Up next, all's well that ends well, right? Terry Bradshaw really showed cancer by kicking it out of the park twice, didn't he? He also assured his fans that even though he doesn't appear to be his old self anymore, he still feels that way. Bradshaw said that he's cancer-free and he feels fantastic. As a response, Michael Strahan, a former Giant and fellow Hall of Famer, praised Bradshaw by saying that he's one of the best teammates there is, and they love him. The revelation gave rise to an outpouring of love and warm wishes. Messages on social media spoke about how they were just so grateful that he's here and that he's cancer-free. They even spoke about the hope he's going to provide to many people out there who are going through a similar situation. But it's also true that the kind, loving tone didn't last very long until Strahan added some comedy about the former Steeler. In a typical Fox NFL Sunday manner, he said that he also wonders why it took this long for others to ask Terry just what's wrong with him. Bradshaw and his colleagues erupted in laughter before the host, and Kurt Menefee added, "Don't worry, that's something that some of us have been asking about for several years." What a way to cut the tension. Now, let's talk about the joke that the NFL legend Terry Bradshaw cracked. Terry Bradshaw, a Hall of Fame quarterback, is facing criticism after making a remark on this week's Fox NFL Sunday. Let's get caught up. Apparently, Terry Bradshaw interrupted Sean Payton, another commentator, as they were analyzing the Cardinals-Seahawks game. According to the New York Post, Sean Payton stated he'd like to see Arizona's running back James Conner carry the ball more frequently. But while Payton was still talking, Terry interjected. He said that they have a throw mindset. So if the boy ran 5 or 6 runs in a row, Bradshaw predicted that he would kill himself or something like that. Yup, that happened on live television. In response to that, Kurt Menefee and Howie Long intervened, stating that the statement was a little dark for all of us. Michael Strahan, on the other hand, just had his eyebrows raised with a rather bewildered expression on his face while gazing directly at the camera. You know what they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Viewers were naturally outraged after seeing footage of Bradshaw's comments, and many went to social media to express their opinions. After that, none of them seemed to really care about the running game, Bradshaw remarked as the program went on. What do you guys think? Too dark or a joke? Lastly, let's talk about the social media backlash. The NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, who is recognized as one of the best quarterbacks in league history and has won 4 Super Bowls while playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, seems under fire right now. He has worked as a television analyst since retiring, but it appears that his most recent remarks haven't done well with viewers. The 74-year-old Steelers legend was swiftly called out for his remark on social media, and some people demanded an apology from him. The Vikings editor Lindsey Young wrote, "Dear Terry Bradshaw, is not a joke." Another person added that the Terry Bradshaw making the joke was not it, but the uproar didn't end there. In fact, one Twitter user said Bradshaw should be fired. Another user elaborated on the thing by saying that Terry should be fired for his comments today because jokes concerning have no place in this world. But since Monday, neither Bradshaw nor Fox have commented on the incident. That's a wrap. Let us know in the comments what your reaction was towards Terry Bradshaw's brawl with cancer. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.